Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're plunging headfirst into an industry that's worth, what, a staggering $250 billion?
That's the number, marketing. And it's an industry that's being turned completely upside down right now.
It really feels like it. You've got some marketing teams still slogging through weekly meetings, maybe waiting ages for a designer to deliver one simple banner.
Right. And then on the other hand, you've got these other teams already automating entire campaigns with AI agents. They're getting things done in hours, literally hours, not weeks.
It's almost like they're operating in a different dimension.
It truly is a seismic shift. And the material we're digging into today, it pulls back the curtain on this transformation. It introduces this concept they're calling vibe marketing.
Vibe marketing, okay.
And it promises something pretty bold, a 20x acceleration for this massive industry, which, when you really think about it, isn't just about doing things faster. It's more about fundamentally reshaping what's even possible.
That's exactly what grabbed my attention, too. So our mission in this deep dive is, well, to cut through all the noise, right? We want to distill the really impactful insights about vibe marketing from this source material.
Yeah, give you a real shortcut to understanding this landscape because it is evolving incredibly fast.
Exactly. We're going to unpack what it is, how it's changing the game, and maybe most importantly, how you can actually start to leverage it.
Okay, so let's dive into that core concept then. What exactly is vibe marketing? The way the material describes it, it's basically a faster, smarter way to do marketing, heavily using AI.
Okay, faster, smarter, AI-driven.
And its origins, interestingly, seem to be rooted in tech communities. The term itself, vibe marketing, apparently draws inspiration from vibe coding, which was coined by OpenAI's Andrej Karpathy.
Ah, vibe coding. I've heard that term.
Right. And the fundamental idea behind vibe marketing is actually pretty simple.
Right.
Let the AI handle the busy work, the repetitive stuff, sometimes the, frankly, soul-crushing tasks, so that humans can focus on better things, more strategic work, more creative work, things that are, well, more uniquely human.
Okay, that idea of letting AI handle the busy work, I mean, that sounds like a dream for anyone who's ever managed a marketing campaign. So what does that actually look like? What are the core pillars the source material highlights?
Yeah, it outlines some really clear key pillars. First, and this is a big one, it's about using AI instead of relying on large traditional teams. Yeah, AI agents can essentially do the work of multiple specialists. Think writing copy, creating visuals, running the ads, even optimizing the campaigns. And the real insight here, I think, isn't just the efficiency gain. It's getting rid of that coordination tax that slows down traditional teams.
Coordination tax, like all the handoffs and approvals.
Exactly. When one AI system or a set of connected systems handles multiple roles, you just eliminate those constant delays, the bottlenecks, the communication overhead. That's where a lot of the exponential speed really comes from.
Okay, so it's not just doing the same steps faster, it's fundamentally changing the workflow. Which leads right into the next point, I guess. Reducing delays.
Precisely. That's the second pillar. Cutting out those painful delays. The old way, waiting for approvals, design mock-ups coming back, things happening one after the other.
Sequentially, yeah.
With interconnected AI tools, multiple tasks can run at the same time in parallel. So what used to take weeks, literally weeks of back and forth, can potentially happen in a single day.
A single day. That's a massive leap.
It really is a game changer for just getting things to market.
And the third pillar you mentioned sounds like, well, a marketer's fantasy. Testing lots of ideas at once.
Right.
Not just A/B testing two ad versions.
Right. Forget just A versus B. We're talking about the ability to instantly test hundreds of variations. Find the winners almost immediately.
Okay, but how does AI actually do that instantly test hundreds part? Is it just generating them super fast or running them all at once or iterating really quickly? What's the mechanism?
That's a great question, and it's key. It's not like a human manually creating hundreds of slightly different ads. It's more like the AI rapidly generates, deploys, and then evaluates diverse combinations, different copy, different visuals, different targeting, all based on real-time performance data.
Ah, so it's an automated loop.
Exactly. It's like a hyper-accelerated automated optimization loop, which feeds directly into the fourth pillar, constant improvement.
Okay.
Your vibe marketing system, as they call it, learns and gets better every single day without needing someone constantly tweaking knobs or telling it what to do. It's learning from that continuous feedback loop.
That idea of constant improvement without constant human intervention. It sounds almost too good to be true. Does the material address the risks there? Like, what about guardrails or strategic direction?
It definitely acknowledges that human oversight is still crucial. You need humans for the overall strategy, for ethical considerations, for the brand voice, but the execution of the learning and the day-to-day improvement shifts significantly towards the AI.
Got it. So humans guide, AI executes and learns.
Pretty much. And what's fascinating is how this really embodies that vibe coding mindset, working faster, smarter, and cheaper using these modern tools.
Right.
Just like vibe coding aimed to make complex software development maybe more accessible, vibe marketing seems aimed at making powerful, sophisticated marketing accessible to almost anyone, even solo founders, by cutting costs and ultimately getting better results.
Okay, so that's the theory. What does this shift actually look like in practice? When you compare traditional marketing to vibe marketing, the differences seem really stark.
They are, and the source material lays them out vividly. Let's connect this to the bigger picture. Traditional marketing often meant a big team, right? Lots of specialists, designers, copywriters, data analysts, channel managers.
Right, lots of roles.
Vibe marketing suggests one person, maybe a very small team, can orchestrate pretty much all of it using AI tools. That fundamentally changes how you even structure a marketing department.
That's a massive shift in just team size.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's speed.
Yeah.
We've all felt that pain. The endless approval loops, the handoffs that drag projects out for weeks, sometimes months.
Oh, yeah.
With vibe marketing, the claim is hours or days.
Mm-hmm.
The pace is just completely different, like going from a slow freight train to, I don't know, a speedboat.
Absolutely. And think about testing again. Traditional methods. You were lucky to properly test a few versions of an ad or a landing page.
Right.
Vibe marketing says you can test hundreds simultaneously, get actionable insights almost immediately.
Which naturally impacts costs, I imagine.
Hugely. High salaries, agency fees, overhead in the old model. Compare that to significantly lower costs, mainly for the AI software. The material even throws out a potential 70–80% cost reduction figure.
Wow, 70 to 80%? That's significant.
Yeah.
Does the source material talk about the upfront investment, though? There must be a learning curve, right? Getting the tools, maybe retraining.
It implies an initial investment, sure. You need to understand the tools, maybe shift how your team thinks and works. But it frames it very much as an investment with a potentially very rapid return on investment because of those ongoing savings and performance gains.
Okay, that makes sense. What about decisions?
Well, traditionally, decisions were often slow, right? Tied to meetings, getting consensus, analyzing reports that took time to compile.
Yep, the weekly marketing meeting.
Exactly. Now, decisions can be fast, sometimes even automatic, driven by real-time AI insights, and scaling. Traditionally, scaling up marketing efforts meant hiring more people, which is slow and expensive.
Right, hard to grow quickly.
With vibe marketing, the idea is it can scale almost instantly because the AI systems can handle increased loads without necessarily adding more headcount.
Okay, and the last point of comparison, optimization.
Right. In the past, optimization was a manual process. Someone had to look at the data, figure out what worked, make changes, wait, see the results. It happened over time,
Right.
slowly. Now, optimization is done continuously, automatically by the AI, but, and this is important, the material stresses it's not just about automation for automation's sake.
Okay.
It emphasizes that vibe marketing should be a blend of data-driven decisions and emotional connection. It's about doing smart, creative marketing faster. It's not just efficiency. It's supposed to enhance the strategic output, too.
That blend is key.
Yeah.
So let's dig into that a bit more. How exactly does AI supercharge the game?
You know, this was a part of the material that really clicked for me, thinking about how AI isn't just an add-on, but how it fundamentally changes the process. Traditionally, marketing felt very linear.
Yeah, like an assembly line.
Exactly. You had a designer do their bit, then pass it to a writer, who passed it to a data person, who passed it to the ad buyer.
No.
Each step happened one after the other. Efficient in its own way, maybe, but sequential and slow.
And now?
Now, the idea is one marketer, maybe, equipped with the right AI agents, can orchestrate all of that stuff, often in parallel and at lightning speed.
So what are AI's core capabilities here? What can it do instantly?
Well, it can spot patterns and trends across huge amounts of data almost immediately, things a human might miss or take weeks to find.
Okay, pattern recognition.
It can autonomously write content, design visuals, and then test variations of both.
Write and design.
Yeah, basic versions at least, or iterations. And crucially, it can make real-time adjustments and improvements to campaigns based on performance data without needing a human to step in every time. And this is where the human advantage comes in, according to the material. Because the AI handles the execution and the iterative stuff, humans can really focus on the high-level strategy, the deep creativity, the brand narrative.
So it frees up humans for, well, the human stuff.
Exactly, making the human marketer potentially more impactful, not redundant. And companies embracing this, they're reporting faster growth, quicker reactions to market shifts. It's about agility.
Okay, this sounds powerful. But how does someone listening, maybe running a small marketing team or even working solo, actually get started with Vibe marketing? It sounds potentially overwhelming.
Yeah, and the material acknowledges that. It can seem like a huge leap, but it assures us it's actually easier than you might think. There's a practical step-by-step roadmap laid out.
Okay, let's walk through that. What's step one?
First, just review your current setup. Like literally make a list of everything your team does day to day, week to week.
Okay, audit the workflow.
Exactly. Identify the tasks that are slow, repetitive, or follow really clear rules. Things like compiling reports, scheduling social media posts, sending standard follow-up emails. Those are prime candidates for automation.
Start small.
Yes. Don't try to boil the ocean. Just aim to free up a few hours a week initially. Think of it as chipping away at the busy work, finding those easy wins first.
Okay, so identify the bottlenecks. Then what? Find the tools.
Yep. Use the right tools. And the good news is you absolutely don't need to be some kind of tech wizard. The material gives categories, which is helpful. For automation, connecting different tools together, think things like Zapier.
Right, Zapier is pretty well known for that.
Yeah, it acts like a digital bridge. Or maybe make for potentially more complex workflows.
Yeah.
Then for AI content creation, you've got the obvious ones like ChatGPT, but maybe also look at Gemini AI from Google or something open source like DeepSeek. They can help with posts, ads, emails, all sorts of stuff.
Okay. Automation, content. What about visual?
For creative design, there are tools like Designs.ai or even AI-powered plugins directly within design tools like Figma that can generate quick visuals, graphics, even short videos. And then for data and reports, tools like Supermetrics or Looker can pull data from all your different channels and help you visualize it easily.
So lots of options.
Definitely. The core advice is don't get paralyzed by choice. Just pick one tool from maybe each category that looks interesting and start experimenting. Play around with it.
Okay, experiment. Next step.
Build AI agents for specific jobs. This is interesting. Instead of thinking of one giant AI doing everything, think about creating mini assistants dedicated to specific tasks.
Like what? Give me an example.
Okay, maybe one agent whose whole job is writing and testing Facebook ad copy variations. Another one focused purely on drafting personalized email sequences. Maybe one for scheduling social content across platforms, or even one that monitors competitor activity.
Right, specialized bots.
Exactly. And the material points out these agents can keep working even when your team is asleep. They become like an always-on extension of your team.
Okay, so you have these specialized agents. What's next?
This is where it gets really interesting, according to the source. Connecting your tools. Don't let them operate in silos.
Make them talk to each other.
Precisely. Link them so they share information. For example, if a particular ad creative performs really well, maybe that performance data automatically informs your blog writing agent to adopt a similar tone or focus on that winning message.
Ah, okay. Cross-pollination of insights.
Yeah. Or if a blog post suddenly gets a lot of views, maybe that triggers your social media agent to automatically promote it more heavily. The goal is to build a marketing system that gets smarter over time because the different parts are learning from each other.
A connected intelligence. That sounds powerful. But where do humans fit in all this automation?
Crucially, keep the human touch. This is step 5, and it's vital. AI is powerful, but it's not perfect, right? It doesn't have common sense or strategic intuition in the human sense.
Right. It needs guidance.
Absolutely. Your team still needs to provide the strategic direction, the creative spark. You decide where humans must step in. Maybe that's reviewing AI-generated content before it goes live, making the final call on ad budgets, or ensuring the tone really genuinely matches your brand's unique vibe.
So AI does the heavy lifting. Humans handle the creativity and final approvals.
That's the idea. It's a partnership. AI executes, humans steer.
Okay. What's step 6?
Improve as you go, and this is key. Don't aim for perfection on day one. You absolutely shouldn't.
Okay. Iteration, not perfection.
Yeah. Exactly. Start small, see what works, and keep tweaking. If one AI agent isn't delivering great results, adjust its parameters, feed it different prompts, or maybe try a different tool for that task. Think of it like building your own custom marketing engine, one upgrade at a time.
I like that analogy. It's an ongoing process.
Totally. It's not a one-time setup.
So after you've got the basics running and you're iterating, what's next? Expand.
Yeah, expand gradually. Step 7. Once your basic setup is humming along smoothly, then you can start adding more advanced features.
Like what?
Maybe more sophisticated personalized marketing based on really specific customer behaviors. Or using AI to predict which leads are most likely to convert. Or building genuinely helpful chatbots that don't just deflect, but actually enhance the customer experience. This is where you really start seeing those compounding benefits.
Okay, and this obviously impacts the team itself, right?
Hugely. Step 8. Redesign your team. As AI takes over more of the routine, repetitive, busy work, your team's roles are going to shift.
How so?
The material suggests you'll need more thinkers, fewer doers, people who understand how to leverage these AI tools effectively, who enjoy testing new ideas, who are creative, adaptable, and comfortable with data.
So it elevates the roles.
That's the argument. It makes your team potentially more valuable, not less, because they're focused on higher-level tasks that AI can't easily replicate. They move up the value chain.
Makes sense. What about learning from all this? Step 9.
Learn from real-time data. This is one of the coolest parts, I think. With Vibe marketing, you get feedback much faster. No more waiting for those end-of-month reports to see what happened.
Right, the data is immediate.
Pretty much. AI tools can often provide near real-time insights. If an ad or a landing page isn't performing well, you know quickly, and you can fix it now, not weeks later after wasting more time and money. It's all about agility.
Okay. And the final step, number 10.
Create a culture of experimentation. This underpins everything else, really. Vibe marketing thrives when your team feels empowered and encouraged to try new things.
Because the cost of trying is lower.
Exactly. And because AI is handling a lot of the execution, your team theoretically has more bandwidth to test bold ideas, try different approaches, run more experiments, encourage a mindset where let's try it is the default reaction.
Even if some things fail.
Especially then. Some experiments will fail, and that's perfectly okay. It's part of the process. Every test, success, or failure teaches you something valuable and moves you closer to understanding what really works for your audience.
Okay, that's a solid roadmap.
Yeah.
To make this even more concrete, let's talk about some real-world examples mentioned in the material.
Yeah.
How is this actually playing out?
Yeah, the examples really help illustrate the concepts. Take AI-powered content creation. There's a case of a B2B startup using tools like ChatGPT, plus something like Canva's AI features to produce their weekly LinkedIn carousels, blog posts derived from those, and even email newsletters all within a single day. Work that used to take them maybe a full week.
Wow. So the vibe there is automate the grunt work.
Exactly. Automate the grunt work, letting the team focus purely on the core messaging, the strategy, the brand voice. They get higher quality output in drastically less time.
Okay, that's compelling. What else?
How about personalized email at scale? There's an example of a SaaS company using a stack like aalo.io, maybe reply.io, integrated with OpenAI to automatically generate really personalized email introductions based on a prospect's LinkedIn profile, their recent company news, or their activity.
So it feels tailored, not generic.
That's the key. The material describes it as feels human, but built by bots. It underscores how AI can scale that kind of personalization in a way that just wasn't feasible manually without losing that crucial human touch, that feeling of relevance.
That's impressive. Scaling personalization is tough. What about something completely different like voice?
Yeah, there's an example of an AI voice agent for lead qualification, a B2B company, using a tool called SynthFlow.
SynthFlow, okay.
To power a 247 AI voice agent. This agent answers incoming calls, asks qualifying questions, can even book demos directly into calendars, and syncs all the info with their CRM.
All without a human. For the initial contact.
For that initial qualification and scheduling, yeah. The description is it feels like a real rep, but never takes a coffee break.
Okay.
It ensures no lead falls through the cracks no matter when they call. Pretty powerful for capturing interest immediately.
Definitely. Yeah. And one more, maybe on the optimization side.
Sure. Automated campaign optimization. Think about a digital agency using the built-in AI features of major ad platforms like Meta's Advantage Plus or Google Performance Max.
Right, those are becoming standard now.
Exactly. They're letting the platform's AI constantly tweak the ad components, the copy, the images, the targeting, the bids, based on what's driving the best return on investment.
So the AI is doing the fine-tuning.
Continuously. The material puts it nicely. The machine fine-tunes while you sleep. It's not just running the campaign you set up. It's actively learning from every single click, impression, and conversion and adjusting strategy in real time to maximize results, even when you're offline.
That's a level of optimization a human team just couldn't possibly sustain 24/7.
Not realistically, no.
Okay, these examples really paint a picture. So bringing it all together, why does this vibe marketing concept matter to you, our listener? What are the big takeaways, the benefits?
Well, first and foremost, it's speed. We keep coming back to this. Campaigns can launch in hours, not drag on for weeks or months. You can have an idea in the morning and potentially see it live and generating data by the evening.
That agility is huge. And costs.
Big potential cost savings. That 70–80% reduction figure we mentioned, that comes from leveraging AI tools strategically instead of relying solely on large internal teams or expensive agencies. That frees up significant budget.
Okay. Speed, cost?
Yeah.
What else?
Advanced testing. Forget just A/B. With AI, you can test dozens, maybe hundreds, of variations of headlines, images, calls to action, whatever, all at once.
Find winners faster.
Find winners faster, optimize quicker, and reduce wasted spend on things that aren't resonating.
What about just being
everywhere?
Multi-channel presence.
Yeah, that's another benefit. Juggling Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, email marketing. It used to be overwhelming, right? Often requiring dedicated people or teams for each channel.
Definitely.
AI tools can help you repurpose content and maintain a consistent presence across multiple channels without necessarily hiring a whole new department. One core idea or piece of content can be automatically transformed for different platforms.
Which ties into less busy work, I suppose.
Absolutely. Less time spent chasing designers for slightly different banner sizes or manually compiling performance reports from 5 different platforms. AI handles more of the routine visuals, caption writing, data aggregation.
Freeing the team for it.
For what really matters. The core strategy, the creative concepts, building genuine customer relationships, the higher value stuff.
This sounds like it gives companies a real edge.
A stronger competitive advantage, for sure. The material frames it starkly. Companies already adopting these methods are moving faster and getting better results. It's like moving from riding a bicycle to a rocket. If competitors are still on the bicycle, well, you get the idea.
Yeah, you're leaving them behind.
And scaling. Easy scaling. Want to ramp up your marketing efforts without the pain of hiring and onboarding 5 new people immediately. Vibe marketing tools, theoretically, scale with you. The systems can handle increased volume, whether it's 1 campaign or 50, without necessarily burning out your existing team.
So it supports growth more fluidly.
Exactly. It's built for more exponential, less linear growth.
And maybe the biggest benefit, wrapping it all up.
More focus on strategy. Imagine spending the majority of your time thinking about genuinely creative campaigns, exploring new market opportunities, planning long-term brand building, instead of getting bogged down in execution details like tweaking ad copy or scheduling posts.
That's the dream, right?
That's what vibe marketing aims to enable. AI takes care of the how so you can focus on the what and the why.
Which brings us to the why now. It feels crystal clear from everything we've discussed. Marketing today is overwhelming. More channels, more content needed, more data than ever, higher expectations.
It's relentless. And trying to keep up using the old manual sequential methods, it just doesn't scale. It leads to burnout and missed opportunities.
So vibe marketing is positioned as the antidote. Stop the repetitive work, boost creativity, build real momentum.
That's the promise. And crucially, the material suggests it's becoming accessible, not just for giant corporations, but even for smaller businesses, startups. Even solo marketers can start leveraging these tools and principles.
Okay, so let's recap this deep dive. Vibe marketing, at its core, is this AI-driven approach. It's faster, it's smarter, it aims to tackle modern marketing challenges by letting AI handle the repetitive tasks,
while freeing up humans to focus on strategy, creativity, and connection. It's presented less as replacing jobs and more about fundamentally redefining marketing roles for much greater impact.
Right. But that leaves us with a really interesting thought, doesn't it? As AI increasingly takes over the how of marketing, the execution, the optimization, the busy work, the true competitive edge in vibe marketing seems like it will shift even more towards the what and the why.
Absolutely. The strategy, the core message, the brand's soul.
So what does that really mean for the next generation of marketing leaders, and maybe more personally for our listeners? How will you ensure your brand's authentic vibe truly resonates and cuts through the noise in this increasingly automated future?
That's a powerful question to ponder, isn't it? Because the technology is just the enabler, the message, the connection. That's where the real magic, the real differentiation will lie. The shift is definitely happening.
It truly is. So maybe the takeaway is just start somewhere. Go ahead, try a few tools, automate one small, annoying task, experiment with one AI agent for one specific job.
Just dip your toes in.
Exactly. That's all it really takes to begin. And the feeling is, once you experience that difference, that leverage, you'll probably wonder how you ever managed to work the old way.